It's not unusual to see a mirage in the desert, but a typewriter repair shop?
This is the same machine.
Bill Wall owns this very real shop, as his father and grandfather did before him. And when people ask what he does for a living,
I said, I repair typewriters, and they laughed, and they said, no, really, what do you do? And I said, no, really, that's what I do.
he also displays them and sells a few at prices up to $500.
This is a calligraph. This is an interesting machine. There's no shift key, so you had your lowercase keys, you had your uppercase keys. And this machine also was an upstrike. The print actually hit underneath, so as you were typing, you had to know what you were doing.
You couldn't see it.
You could not see what you were typing as you were typing on this machine.
Idea.
Right.
Bill is as surprised as the rest of us that he's still in business.
Mid-90s, a friend says, hey, do you think by year 2000 you're still going to be doing typewriters? I said, probably not.
Then he noticed the beginnings of some sort of typewriter renaissance.
I found it at Goodwill.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, $7.99.
That's $7.99.
Yes, sir.
Did it work?
It did, except for the L key, so I had to come hunt Bill Wall down.
Erica, 27, just bought her first.
It's kind of enchanting to hit a key and to see the words form right in front of your eyes.
But that's what you're doing on a computer.
Right, but with this, when you're done, you just pull the paper up and there's your words, what you have to say right in front of you.
Do you want to talk about the red one?
The Remington?
Reminds me of a woman with red lipstick and fishnet stockings. That's what I love about that one.
Brandy Kowalski and Donna Brady report brisk typewriter sales at a New York flea market, where customers have some novel reasons for buying.
They'd say, I have writer's block, I'm a novelist, I'm stuck, and my therapist told me to go back to a typewriter.
Some are coming back to typewriters. Some never left. And some are seeing them for the first time.
It's a completely different thing. It's like learning a musical instrument.
People are text messaging into thin air, and I really just sort of felt the need to be grounded in something that one could actually hold on to. On my typewriter specifically, I write standing up just to bring me even that much more into the physical moment.
Enthusiasts across the country are gathering at type-ins. Why, it's practically a movement.
Unions have sit-ins. Hippies had be-ins. Let's have a type-in.
Michael McGettigan, typewriter activist, organized this one.
I think a typewriter makes you think a little bit because those marks you're putting on the paper just stay there. If you make a mistake, it's wrong. So it makes you back up and you go, okay.
I remembered really quickly like how much I like that dinging sound when you come to the end of the row and then the feel of like returning to the carriage. It's like really nice.
And there are many occasions that call for something more heartfelt than a flighty email.
I think I would write love letters to Lisa. I think that there's something romantic about sitting down on a typewriter and writing a letter to somebody.
If you need to grab a typewriter, go ahead and grab one and bring it back to your desk right now.
Ryan Adney is a high school teacher who loves typewriters.
As it was sitting on my desk, my students started asking questions about it, like, what is that? And what does it do?
I thought it was a new invention.
Honestly, you didn't know what they were?
Nah, I'd never seen one before.
Spelling definitely improved. Students who were typing on a regular basis were more prone to identify their own spelling mistakes and go back and correct them. I feel like there's a little more craft put in when some of the students were typing.
Okay, you should start thinking about putting the last touches on that sentence that you're currently working on.
Many students have come to like these old relics for reasons of their own.
You feel like a real writer, like, I don't know.
And you think that makes your writing better?
Yeah.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Back at the shop, Bill Wall is enjoying his career in typewriter repair a lot more these days.
It's got a good typing action. 30 years ago, it was a tool. Someone was dragging a machine in from an office, and they could care less about it. My customers are all great. Every day, I've got these very interesting people coming through the door. They're passionate about what they do.
It's kind of a private fetish.
Or was.
Was.
About 6 months
Take
later,
Ted and Tori, for example.
I left. I didn't particularly care one way or another about typewriters. It was just another machine, and he brings home this Hermes 3000 typewriter. It's this mint green machine, and it's smooth and curvy, and the keys are just bright green and beautiful, and I just kind of fell in love.
If you were a typist, I would let you type on this machine.
I'm
and
definitely
you would
not.
understand how sensual working the keys. There's a touch to it that's very smooth and kind of sexy, actually.
Especially when you find one that's, no pun intended, just your type.